Could he dance? Like, was it good?
Well, no, all I saw was like the bottom and the top. It was like, I don't know, trying to wiggle out of like a tube, you know? Okay, wait, we missed. Start again. All right.
Take 2. Welcome back. It's your favorite besties back at it again. Episode 2.
From Mrs. to Ms. We are so excited to be back with you guys and kind of talk about everything. Now, if you missed out on our first episode, first of all, you got to go back and listen. I mean, seriously.
Please.
Rate, review, whatever, all you're supposed to do.
Whatever else we were supposed to tell you.
But, okay, so just to kind of reiterate about ourselves.
Yes. We were both in long-term marriages, not to each other. And then divorced. Unfortunately.
And then we're kind of back out in the dating scene. And so we're kind of here to talk to you guys about what that's like, what our stories are, give you some advice, some information. No expert advice, but just our advice. No. How was your week?
You know what? Not bad. Do you know what I am excited about?
Tell me.
That little thing that you've talked me into doing.
Okay, we're doing
Saturday.
I've talked her into doing pole dancing.
Well, first of all, this Saturday we are not participating, correct? Don't lie to me. I'm not here. No, see?
No, it's just a teaser this week. So it's like pole dancing, burlesque dancing.
But we're just going to watch the session.
We're going to watch this week, and then we're going to try it and kind of figure out.
Wait. We're trying it on Saturday?
Not Saturday. No. I don't know.
Swear on the Bible. It's time to swear you in.
It's time to swear. All right.
Andrea, am I pole dancing on Saturday or am I just watching?
I swear to tell 95% of the truth and nothing but 95% of the truth. No, I do not believe. Now, it is not my class, but I do not believe we will be pole dancing on Saturday. And I swear to tell 95% of the truth and nothing but 95% of the truth.
You're sticking with that story.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Katie.
I solemnly swear that if I have to pole dance on Saturday against my will without knowing and agreeing to do this first, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Limber up.
Stretch it out.
Okay, do you swear to tell 95% of the truth and nothing but 95% of the truth in this podcast?
Today only?
Today only.
For the next
however long it takes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're good. Okay, so we are excited about our class coming up this Saturday. To go back to that, we are going to find a way to kind of spice up our relationships, our dates, ourselves.
What? Oh, okay. I was like, what relationship?
Ourselves. It's going to create strength and...
well, this all started because, like, I'm tired of swiping. Mm-hmm. We're going to get into, like, first dates in a little while, but I'm tired of swiping. So I was like, Andrea, let's do something different. And this wasn't exactly what I was talking about because I'm probably not going to meet anybody. Are there
another
guys
woman? No.
Hey, you know.
I mean, if you're into women.
If that happens, sign me up.
Okay. You heard it here first, people.
All right. So pole dancing is going to be,
it's kind of like our bestie date.
Right, but I'm not pole dancing.
For now, we're going to watch, but we will eventually. That's the whole point.
This week is not about pole dancing.
Correct.
It's about getting ready for the first date. So,
I love it.
I'm excited to share with you. But Andrea.
Yes.
First, I want you to tell me about your first date, but also we need to talk about how did you feel?
Oof.
Going into that,
Well, I think that it was just kind of, there was a lot of mixture of stuff. Like I was excited, but nervous and you're like anxious, you don't know what to expect. So I think that was a lot of it, but I was definitely excited to start dating again. And you have to put yourself out there at some point. So anybody out there that is, kind of hesitant to start dating, now is the best time. Just go for it. It doesn't mean anything. It's just getting the first date out of the way and then see what happens.
But how do you know you were ready?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I just went for it because totally, it was just kind of like, I just got to do it because you can sit and hum and haw and think about it so much and then you can talk yourself out of it and eventually you just have to be like, just go for it. So I did.
Okay.
What about you?
No. What? No, I was kidding. What about me? No, I think the same. Like, I don't know that I was ready or not. It was just like, I'm happy. I like being single, honestly, more than I thought. I liked being married. I liked that family dynamic. Yeah. But it took a while to like realize, oh my gosh, I'm single. And so I needed to like sit with that for a while, right?
Absolutely.
And then and I'm okay being single. And I'm not in any rush or any hurry, but it's like, yeah, I guess that would be okay to put myself back out there and
Yeah.
just see what's out there, but no rush.
Well, I think there's like this big stigma about being single, and that
I wish that
people look
stigma
at it in
wasn't
like
there.
a negative way. You're single.
You haven't
I'd rather be
remarried or
single
date.
and
You're not
happy
dating.
than with the wrong guy and unhappy,
Correct.
right? So why not just give it a shot? Okay, so you want to hear about my first
I
date?
truly want to hear about this first date.
Okay, so all right. So this is what I did. So I just kind of got on the dating sites and I was playing around with different ones trying to figure out what worked best for me. So I really like Bumble personally because the woman has to make the first move.
Right.
Okay. So when you go online, for anybody that hasn't been on Bumble and doesn't know about this, when you go online, you can swipe, you swipe right if you like them, swipe left if you don't. Don't mix that up. And
Careful.
yeah, and so then they appear in your beehive, if you will. So once they're in your beehive, then you kind of go in and you have 24 hours basically to reach out to the man. So I know a lot of you are probably going, oh my God, I don't want to make the first move. I want the guy to reach out first.
But I think what's behind that is like women are like scared to like they're being filled up, their DMs are being filled or their messages are being filled with so many guys, and it kind of just puts you in the driver's seat of like, I don't want to respond to that person, but I will respond.
Absolutely. It's
gives
like
you a little bit
power
of
stance.
control.
Yeah,
right?
totally. So you get to decide who you want to talk to, who you don't. There's a lot of times I might swipe right and then they're in my queue and I keep going back in and, you zoom in on their pictures. Do I? Don't I? Do I? And I mean, what I've learned now, yeah, exactly. But what I've learned now compared to then is like, if I'm doing the so many times, I'm like, all right, I'm not interested because I know if it's going to take that much out of me to like them and talk to them, I'm probably not that
from
into
his profile, like you might be like a little harder in real life.
Totally. So, okay, so for my first date, I was on Bumble and oh God, I remember it so clearly because I hardly swiped on anybody. I was kind of scared, so I didn't know what to do. So I was going through left, and then one popped up that I was like, okay, he's kind of cute. So he was, I'll describe him. He was
tall, dark, and handsome?
Well, yes. He was bald, but I'm good with bald if it's like.
Was it like bald on purpose?
Yeah, or? There you go. It wasn't like he was going bald. He just shaved it bald, which I like that. That's a good thing. So he was bald. He was handsome. He was probably late 40s, I think, maybe around 47, 48. He was at least 5'9". I think he was probably closer to 6 feet tall. I do like taller.
And just so you know, Andrea's quite tall.
Yeah, I'm 5'9". So with heels, I'm already right there with the guy. So I kind of like it a little bit taller because I like to look up too.
So look down at his bald head.
That's not what I thought you were going to say there. The first 3 letters. Okay. So, yeah. So anyways, I swiped right on him and then I did one and I'm like, wait.
Oh no. Close the phone.
I turned the little sand timer over. How long until I hear from him? And I'm just waiting. And then all of a sudden, bloop, bloop, bloop. And it said, you have a match. I mean, like the best 5 words I'd ever heard. Yeah. No, 4. Oh,
here we are counting
4.
on our fingers.
So I am like super excited because for me, it meant that like somebody was interested in me, and that was kind of the hard thing I think coming out of divorce is your insecurities and you feel like, is anybody going to love me? Is anybody going to want to go out with me? Am I
all your
funny?
insecurities
Am I attractive?
Shining.
Yeah. And so when he matched back with me, it was just that little bit of validation.
It was exciting.
I was exciting because I was like, oh, somebody likes me. So that was pretty cool. So we actually just talked back and forth on the site for a while, which I think is kind of good. I kind of like to chat back and forth a little bit, get to know somebody. I'm not big on the ones that are like, hey, let's meet. Yeah, I'm all about meeting. I'm not looking for a pen pal.
Right, I've heard that a lot. Like,
yeah, because
some just like sooner or later. Right?
Yeah. But I wanted to get to know him first.
And I feel like if you don't meet in person, it's hard to like. Once you meet in person, it's just different.
Then you can make a
decision.
Yeah,
definitely don't want to be pen pals, but definitely want to chat a little bit.
Totally,
a little bit.
Chemistry is huge. Yeah. Right? So you're not going to find that until you meet in person. So we talked about everything. We talked about, music and movies and, just what I did for a living, all kinds of different stuff. So, and then we agreed to do our first date.
Okay. So he asked?
Okay. He asked if we could meet. And so I was kind of like, oh, you make the plans, So he kind of gave me a place. He said, let's meet here.
Okay,
and
yeah.
we'll go from there. So it wasn't a specific like restaurant. He didn't say let's meet at this restaurant. It was kind of
sent you
like
an address?
Well, there was like this area, kind of like a shop, like a village. So it was kind of like let's meet there. We kind of decided like a corner to meet at, and then because there's all kinds of restaurants in there. So then we're like, let's go from there. So I was super excited. So, anyways,
You get all ready.
I got all
What'd you wear?
up. I wish I'd written it down. I don't remember what I wore on my first date, but if I had to guess, I mean, I usually go with like some Converse flats because I don't know
Just in case.
how the height thing's going to work out for me. And if I walk up and I'm taller than him, I'm going to turn around and walk away. I just know myself.
Done?
So, yeah, I'd be done. So I agreed to meet him. And so I pulled up, I parked and everything. I'm waiting at the corner. Okay. So all of a sudden, he says I'm like a minute out. Granted, he was a little bit late. Not a good idea.
Buddy.
Yeah, don't show up late.
Red flag.
Red flag
Strike
right
one.
away.
Whichever. What?
Yeah,
strike
to
one
me,
or
show
not?
up on time.
I don't know if
That's
it's a
cool.
red flag, but it's a
No,
strike.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit of a strike.
Yeah.
But a minute?
No, this is a minute after he was already late. Like he said I'm a minute out, but I'd already
strike.
been waiting.
Strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he pulls up and immediately he pulls up in it, like I think it was in a Mustang. I'm pretty sure it was. He rolls down the window. Well, he didn't. What year am I in? I'm sorry. He automated the window down. And he looks out and he goes, "Hey, I made reservations at this Cuban restaurant." Like, not even in where we're at. And he's like, "Get in. We'll drive there." So, Katie.
So you got in your car.
What would your answer
I'd have been
be?
like, fantastic. I'll meet you there. Give me the address.
Yes. You know what Andrea said?
I'm
Sweet.
guessing.
Let's go. So
I had an idea.
And
that was what you were going to say.
Well, I think that goes back again to not really knowing what the right move is or what you should do.
Like, were you in the moment, or is it just like you thought,
I
or you're
trusted
just
everybody.
Okay,
I mean, you're coming out. I don't know dating like this, so I'm just thinking everybody's on the up and up. Mm-hmm. Totally. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I'll say I had a little bit of hesitation getting in. I mean, there was a little bit, but
you got it.
I went with it. I went. So I get in the car. We drive to this cute little Cuban restaurant. Never had Cuban food. That was fun. We go into the restaurant. We kind of sit down, and we get this booth. It's like kind of a circular corner booth, okay? And immediately, I mean, he's like right up in my craw. like just
in the booth. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
but a little too close for comfort,
right? Because you just met.
Totally. And so, but whatever. So I order the food and stuff, and I'm sitting there with like my hand on the chair, and next thing I feel like his fingers start crawling up on my hand, and I'm like,
wait, where's your hands next to you or on your?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, next to me, and then I get like kind of like, for those of you who can't see.
Or those of you who are listening, her hand is being caressed.
Absolutely.
And you're like, what, 10 minutes in?
It might have been 20, 25. Yeah. I mean, we were eating, so food had come already.
Okay.
But immediately I'm thinking, and again, this goes back to, I think, what everybody thinks when they first come out. I don't know what's right, what's wrong. Is that normal? I don't know. Is there a time frame on that?
Asking the wrong person right here.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be asking me.
You're like, is that normal? Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, okay. So, anyways, we do that for
Maybe his love language
America.
was physical touch.
Yes.
Clearly.
Too soon. So, anyways, we do the little rub me in the hands, whatever, and I, pull away, touch me here, scratch, whatever, get out of it. And then, shortly after, he comes back almost asking me to hold his hand, and he does this where he puts his hand out to me, like, "May I have your hand?" kind of thing.
Did you?
Well, I was a little hesitant, and I'll tell you why. His hands were like a 100-year-old man's hands. They were so wrinkly and calloused and worked over.
Seriously?
They had not seen lotion in years. I'm not even kidding. I was just like, what is that?
Okay.
But again,
So you just didn't.
I did a little bit. I just took it
like-
because it's awkward. Who does that? Like, hold my hand. So I did. And then, of course, now because I've seen one thing that is like throwing me off, now everything seems
Now you're
weird.
looking. Now
Now
you're
I'm
like-
looking. So what do I see next? Oh, the man has these short little arms. Oh, poor guy. I'm not even giving him a name because this is
Wait,
terrible.
what should we name him? What?
T-Rex.
I mean,
really.
the arms fit.
So here we've got
Oh my God.
See, well, maybe that explains why his hands were so old. He's
He was a
extinct.
dinosaur.
So anyway, he's got these tiny little arms, these wrinkly little hands, and now I am just seeing a whole new light. All of a sudden, I am totally clear on what is a big turnoff for Andrea.
Oh, dinosaurs.
Yeah. Dinosaurs.
Old, wrinkly hands.
And dinosaurs.
And dinosaur arms.
Anyways, so that's how the dinner part went. So now we've got to still do the ride back to my car.
Oh, because your car's not there.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Well played.
So, I mean.
So you couldn't do that like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting up with an old friend. Like that out, like.
What?
Oh, hi.
Something's happened?
Oh,
Something
no.
terrible happened?
You had to.
Yeah, I didn't have a ride. Okay.
Uber?
Yeah. I guess I could have. Okay. Yeah. Was that around 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could have. But
But you were interested to find out more about.
I had to see where this
T-Rex
was going to
arms,
end up. Like, I mean,
Thank you.
I
You
was
took
so
one for the
invested.
team, right?
I was so invested already. So we come out, we get in the car. We're sitting in the car, and I don't know. He does not start the car. He's just kind of sitting there. So now an immediate discomfort comes over me.
Oh, no.
I unbuckle my seatbelt that I already
Okay.
buckled. I need to flee in a hurry.
Yes,
if there's
you've
a problem,
gotta be
right?
ready.
So I'm just kind of sitting there waiting, and then he all of a sudden he kind of looks at me and he says, "You want a little music?" And I'm like, "Sure,"
Oh.
So he goes, "Well, I know we talked in our conversation about that you like sexy music." I'm thinking Enya, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I'm talking
great.
about, real smooth
Yes.
grooving kind of music. Oh, he puts on 50 Cent Candy Shop. And
Sing a little
yeah.
for us in case they don't know what that is. Because I don't know what it is. So you got to help me out here. Oh.
Welcome to the candy shop. That's all I know. Dun 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 dun.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Like that's it, right?
Okay.
So I'm like,
And that's what he chooses.
that's
So
what he
over
chooses.
Enya.
And says, you said you like sexy music, but okay, we are definitely not in the same era. But I'm like, okay. Cool. And then next thing I know, we start getting some grinding. And he is in his seat. Welcome to the candy shop.
No, for those of you listening, Andrea's arms are up.
And my booty is gyrating. And this is he is getting
As your
so
hand
into
on
this.
the handle.
The handle, I am ready to flee, but
it
it is
locked? Does
good.
he have you
This is
locked
some
in?
serious entertainment. I'm not going to get this
Oh.
anywhere else. I mean, I'm staying for the show.
Okay.
So I look over at him, and I am just like, okay, I got you. I see you. And he basically dances for, I don't know, 10 minutes. It was a good 10 minutes in the confines of the car, which was odd. And then he says to me, "I told you I could dance."
Could he dance? Was it good?
Well, no, all I saw was the bottom and the top. It was I don't know, trying to wiggle out of like a tube, That's what it looked like.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, wow, you're good. Where?
Oh, you're hyping him up.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
he's trying.
Pay for effort.
And I'm like, where did you learn to dance like this? And he's like, I used to be a male dancer.
Wait. What? Whoa. Wait.
I missed that part in the profile.
Was it on the profile?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was literally.
No, he forgot that part.
He just didn't believe
Yeah.
that was.
So,
was
he was
private. It
pretty
was
much a
private
male stripper type dancer. Oh, it all made sense. I mean, it
Did
was.
you tip him?
Yeah, I told him don't do that again. That was my tip. So. We head back to my car, and then Okay, so then comes the goodnight kiss. Where do you go with that? Okay,
You don't. You get out of the car.
He danced for me. No. Okay, but you don't know that on the first date. Are you not? What? They come in. What do you dodge?
Was he coming in?
Yeah. Well,
there was
eventually,
You weren't giving him this.
the hand out again and pulled
weren't-
me in. And I'm like, whoa.
You dodged it? Did you dodge it? Okay.
Of course. I was
Awkwardly,
not
or
into
you were
him
like,
at all.
that was smooth?
Oh, it was so awkward. No, it was so awkward.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it just went very wrong for the first date, but look how much I learned on that.
What did you learn?
I learned don't get in the car with strangers. Stranger danger.
Yes.
I learned.
You don't like T-Rex arms and
Or
wrinkly hands.
So I need
turn off.
So when I'm asking for pictures, there's
You want to see
specific
their
things I
hands.
need to ask for.
Is it okay to ask for a hand pic?
I think so. It's fine.
It's better than other pics.
Don't talk about sexy music if
it's not in you don't want it.
yeah, absolutely. And ask, be a little bit more clear on what they do up front for their
Find out if they're a male
for their
dancer.
job. Yeah. So I mean, I think he liked
Nothing
me.
wrong with
He
male
did.
dancers.
No.
You just want to know that up front.
Yeah. I mean, I could have
You
been
would have
into
brought
it
some dollar bills.
if it had been presented differently. I think
You would have been okay with
Not on the first date. I don't want to see you gyrating in the seat next to
Fair
me on
enough,
the first date.
fair enough.
I would have enjoyed maybe seeing that dates down the road, and maybe it was like a romantic, sexy thing. You're kind of like
Maybe
wooing
he
me.
could give some pointers on pole dancing.
Oh my God.
Could you call him up? No. Invite him?
Not now, I can't. Are you kidding me? Wow. So it kind of ended up that, I wasn't interested. He did reach out multiple times after, and I did ghost him, which is terrible.
No.
And I think we really need to talk about that at a later time about ghosting, because I think that it's a really crappy thing to do. It felt great for me, but for him, it really sucked. But I've been on the other end of that, where you get ghosted, and it's like this, you just want this closure.
So you didn't
and
even
don't-
give him like a, hey, not going to work out. Don't really like your hands.
No, but that was so wrong.
Use some lotion and call me in 6 months. Nothing.
Nothing. I know. That was wrong.
But after one day, you know what?
It was
We're going
one
to get
day.
into that in another episode. Like when is it appropriate to? Is
Is
it
it
ever
ever
appropriate? Well, that's a whole other
Yeah.
episode.
There's my first date
Wow.
out of the gate.
Wow.
I mean, I learned a lot on
You
it.
learned a
know?
lot.
Yeah. You should share your location with friends. You should have a friend on standby that does the whole, what? Something bad happened?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can
Yes.
get out of that. Honestly, it's okay to be, if they're entering your comfort zone, yeah, I think it's okay to say, hey, I'm not really comfortable with that
Yeah.
yet. Like when he went to grab my hand. But again, I felt like I was going to hurt his feelings, or I was going to make him feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you really got to worry about yourself and what's
But
comfortable
it's
for
hard
you.
in that moment to,
Oh, totally.
like-
It's an awkward thing. But
especially when you don't have your car with you.
yeah, and you need a ride back.
Yeah, he's your ride.
Yeah. So tell me about your first date,
Man,
Katie.
oh my
What
goodness.
you got? Top that.
I don't even know where to start. I guess same. I was very similar to like the Bumble thing, like
Yeah.
swiping.
Okay,
and-
wait. Let's go back though. Okay, before you actually went on the first date. So,
Oh my God.
because you are a lot newer out of this divorce thing than I am. Okay, so me looking back now, I can kind of see how I felt, and I probably felt totally different than I think I felt saying it now. So I'm asking you, okay, because it probably wasn't that long ago. Like, what were you feeling?
May. It was in May. How long ago was it? That's a lot. Oh my god.
Coming up on a year. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
What was the
how did
question?
you feel? Like, what made you start getting into it? Did you wait a while after your divorce?
I waited a really long time before,
What's a really long time?
at least a year.
Ooh.
Like after like the divorce was finalized. I think it was at least a year.
Wow.
I'm not sure
That's
the exact
commendable,
timeline.
actually.
Well, yeah, I was just like I said in the first episode. If you missed that, I was like the cliche thing. Like I want to work on myself, which I mean sounds cliche, but it
Yeah.
really was like I just need to process this whole thing. I just need to take some time, and
that's super
I
smart.
don't know that I was actually ready. I had a couple friends that were like that told me they were like on
after
Bumble.
a year, you didn't know if you were ready?
Yeah, even after a year, like I was just not minding being single and kind of just enjoying that. It was a whole new ball. I've been married for. I mean, I know you
Yeah.
had too, but I guess some people are just ready to jump right back in. I
Yeah.
just kind of wasn't. I just needed to process that whole thing.
Sure.
And then I had a friend that I think she had just signed up on Bumble, and she was telling me about like,
You
same-
did Bumble too?
Yes, and she was telling me the same
Oh.
thing. She was like, and the woman makes the first move. They have to reach out, which I was like, that's the opposite of what I want. I don't want to be the first
I
one.
know. I totally see that in you.
No,
You'd be like,
but
no thanks.
then I was like, and like she was like trying to tell me to get on, like just join it. And I was like, no. And I was like lying in bed one night and like not doing anything, and I just literally just signed up on the whim. Like I just was like.
Ballsy.
Like a week before that, I was like, nah, not really. And I was just laying there. I'm like, okay, why not? So I like took an hour and did my little profile and
Nice.
anyway, started like the swiping. But I was the same thing. Like I accidentally swiped.
Your
Right.
first date was an
No,
accident?
no. I'm just
Oh.
saying, right out the gates, I
Okay.
swiped just accidentally.
Just what I said not to do.
Don't do it. Like, be careful when you hold that phone. And like that, he matched immediately. That
Ooh.
and no,
Oh.
wasn't.
You didn't
I
like
mean,
it?
it just wasn't my type. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I was like, oh
What is
no.
your type, Katie?
Not that. I do not necessarily know what I'm looking for.
Do you like a
but it
dark hair
wasn't
guy, light hair?
like a darker more, or like a dirty blonde or something. Not like a blonde. I'm not opposed to a
You just like him dirty.
blonde. Just dirty. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
dark
heard that.
haired.
Did y'all hear that? Okay.
Tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it for my type. I like a little scruff.
I do too.
Yeah.
I didn't used to.
Right.
I didn't like facial hair.
No.
But now it's kind of, yeah.
I don't know necessarily need like that full beard, just like that
Yeah.
scruff, a day or two old.
5
Yeah.
o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock shadow.
All right.
Not bad.
Okay.
So then I was like swiping, and I think I was more apt to like swipe right back then. Now,
You don't swipe right on
I'm
anybody
not
now.
swiping right very often anymore, but that's, I don't even know why, but who knows. But I was like, okay, all right. And I don't remember. I honestly don't remember the match. Like being like, was that the first match or the second? I don't remember, but oh no, I do remember. So we chatted for a bit, and this guy kind of asked me out early on. And I
Oh.
kind of was like, well, not really sure. Like, let's chat a little bit more. Because in the beginning, I was like, I'm not going out with a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, I need to talk to you for a little while
bit.
before. But then I did learn, like, I understand why, like, you don't want a pen pal.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that now, looking back. And I understand, like, I'd rather meet sooner now, too.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
if there's
you
nothing
know,
there, you
right,
know, you
right.
move on.
But then I was like, no. So I kind of like brushed him off a little bit. And he kind of asked me out. I was like, well, I'll let you know because I'm kind of busy this weekend. I wasn't busy.
She's
Just
never
wanted
busy.
True. So I was like, I'm going out of town this weekend. And so then I kind of like left it. And then like a week later, he messaged me again. I completely forgot about this. He messaged me
love
again.
this.
And then I really did like that. I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, this guy is interested if he's like, he hadn't moved on to the other swipes, matches. I don't even know. So I agreed to go on a date.
Okay.
But let me be clear here.
Okay.
I don't call it a date.
That's right. That's right. She does
It's a meet and greet. And I know people are laughing at me right now.
Cuckoo.
It's not a date. I'm not dating a stranger. How can you date a stranger? Maybe that's just me.
I don't know. I've done it about
She's
300
done it.
times.
I can't go on a date with a stranger. So I want to meet you in person, and then I will decide. And like it's almost like meeting them in the real world instead of swiping. Like I've
Right.
met you in the real world, and I'm like, okay. The
get
next
that.
one would be like a first date.
That is totally you, though.
That is
to
totally
do a
me.
meet
So
and
I
greet.
call
That
it
is totally. I love
a
it.
meet and
I love
greet.
it. That's you.
And I think I did tell this guy that, and I think he did laugh. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care, because this is just a meet and greet. Like I'm just kind of whatever. That's probably the problem. Maybe that's why I'm not getting second dates. They're meet and greets. But anyway, I don't remember where I was going with that. So I was on this
you met
little
him?
meet and greet.
Yeah.
Oh no, so we agree to meet at a restaurant, and I pull up. And it's closed, much like the first time we met. Actually, the restaurant happened to be closed. It was closed for I don't know why. I think there was construction on the road, and the restaurant was closed. And he, just as I was about to text him, he was texting me. He's like, "Oh, the restaurant's closed. I am down the street at this other place. Come down here." I didn't have to get in the car with him, Andrea. It's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, and let me add, I had two people that had my location.
Okay.
And I had a password because I thought I was going to get kidnapped and murdered.
my
I
God.
literally was like, this is it. This is where it all ends.
So this is basically what not to do, what you should do.
Have
note.
people that have your location. So two friends had my location, and I had a password.
Oh my
and
God. Like a
I had to
code word?
think this through. Yeah.
But what if it was a good date? Are you like,
that's where I
hell
had to,
yeah, that's the
That's
code?
where I had to give the code. If I didn't give the code,
Then it meant it was bad?
So I had, if I was gonna be like, I'm on my way home,
Yeah.
and then I'd have to give the code, or, hey, it's going really well. We're going to a movie, or we're going somewhere else. Here's the code. So if I didn't give the code,
Then,
because if he's over my shoulder with a knife, he's about to kidnap me.
oh.
And he can't, I thought this through because I was not,
was the
I watched
code
too
word?
much Dateline. I can't tell you.
Like octopus or something?
What was it? I'll have to give a new one if I do it.
Oh.
It was
Okay, save
Bazooka-
it. Save it. Oh.
Bazooka Joe.
It's too-
No, I got to do it.
Okay, wait, whoa.
I don't know why. It just popped in my head.
Okay.
That was the code.
So
I
this,
literally had
let
to
me just
text.
play this out for a second. So you are enjoying the date.
If I was enjoying the date.
If you were enjoying the date.
And
okay, but
or
let's
if I was going
say,
home, like when I got in the car,
yeah,
I was like, I'm headed home, Bazooka Joe. So they knew
that
I
you
was
enjoyed
headed home. No, that I was headed home. And I wasn't kidnapped. And it was really me. And I wasn't being held hostage.
So the code word goes with if you don't like the date?
No, it was like,
Oh,
I'm
I don't
safe.
get it.
I'm safe and sound.
I'd be
Here's
sending the wrong
You know
code
how when, like, ADT calls you?
Yes.
Because if your alarm accidentally...
But what if you liked the date?
I would still say, I'm
Bazooka-
like the date, and now I'm going somewhere else. This is really me, Bazooka Joe.
Okay, so let's just say
Does
for
it make sense?
shits and giggles, the guy is over your shoulder.
Right.
with
I'm
a
not
knife
saying
here, and
Bazooka Joe. He doesn't know. So if I don't say, this is a really good guy, and now we're just going to go to another bar.
Okay.
Now these friends are like, she didn't use the code word.
Oh, I get it.
So like it's a code, a
Okay,
safe word.
I thought he was going to see
Like-
that you said Bazooka Joe, and then you're going to try to pull off why you're saying Bazooka Joe.
No,
and
I
he'd be
only-
like, my name's Dave.
it was Joe.
Who's this Joe you
This
speak
was
of?
well thought out.
Okay, apparently.
Very strategic.
Yeah. You tricked me, so.
You didn't know what was going on.
Not at all.
Is she safe? Going
no
over
idea.
this with my friends were like, wait, so
Wait,
what do I
Like me? Like,
Yeah. What do I do?
yeah.
It
Try again.
made sense. So
Okay.
in the date, the meet and greet.
Yeah.
No,
What
so
was
I
he like?
walk
What was he
in, I
like?
walk in, and he's at the bar, which I know you prefer the bar too, but I
Bar
want
is sexy.
to be,
A bar,
and I don't
flirty,
want sexy at a meet and greet. I don't know you.
Whereas Andrea on a first date, all about it.
So I was like, oh, the bar, cool. No, he's like, meet me at the bar. So I see him, he's like, his back is to it, and I immediately, I could tell just from that.
From the
I don't,
back of
like,
his
I don't
head?
think it was judgmental. I'm hoping it wasn't.
Did he have hair?
Yeah, but it was just, I don't know. It was just maybe his demeanor.
Was he slouching?
I don't even know, but I knew. I don't know, but I just
You
knew.
just knew.
I was like, but I went in. I was
Women's
like, I'm not going to
intuition.
just turn around and this is like, I've got to get this first one out of the way, right? Like I've got to go through with it. So
Okay.
I
And
go
he turned
in.
around. Wait, whoa. Let me demonstrate.
Yes.
Okay, so he's like this.
No, he wasn't that far.
Oh, okay. He's like, so you saw a corner of his face.
Yeah, as I
so
guess
maybe
as I
that's
walked
what you
in.
saw. Okay.
But I don't
And
even
then you
remember.
came
So I
up,
was like, hi, and like we hugged, and that was weird.
and then what did you tap him on the shoulder?
No, he
Do it
kind of
like-
turned as he saw me. Like I think he could see me a little bit. Hey,
Katie?
what's up? Yeah, we're like, what was his name? I'm not
Bazooka
gonna say
Joe.
it. Hey, Bazooka Joe. No, I think we hugged or whatever, and then
Okay.
we're sitting at the bar, and like our knees are touching or whatever, and I'm like whatever, and this is weird. And he did the same thing, so maybe it is normal. He did like
The
touch
hand
me
thing?
on my leg, and I'm just like, I didn't even know what to do. I'm just-
what's your love languages? Do you even know?
no,
we
like,
don't need to get
I
into
feel
that
like
yet,
that I would be okay with that if it was somebody that
but you knew.
I knew
or you
liked.
wanted to be
right.
with.
But I felt
Okay.
like here's the good thing. I felt comfortable. I didn't feel
Okay.
unsafe.
Threatened
He
or-
was nice.
Okay.
We chatted. It was
No
fine.
chemistry?
He was still married.
Shut the front door.
So I was really a no then. Like
what do you mean?
Yeah, he was like getting divorced and his wife knew that he was on there and I'm just like I was like,
For those of
Buddy.
you listening, there were air quotes around the wife knew.
buddy, I've heard this story before.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really appreciate you telling me that you're still married, but I think
that
no,
was
I think
good.
we kind of
Okay.
little like I talked about that. I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of not
Yeah.
feeling that, but
Yeah.
he was really nice and
then you just, that was it? You
and
went your separate ways?
then yeah, we went our separate ways, and I got in the car and I said, I'm headed home. I'm safe, Bazooka Joe.
Did he follow up with a text or
No,
nothing?
I think we both kind of
You
no
knew
one
there wasn't
ghosted
there?
either.
There was nothing
it was
to ghost?
good. I think we were just like I think he knew that I was not the marriage thing was
Yeah.
a little bit. And I'm not saying that you can't
Yeah, if you're
necessarily if you're
separated
separated
or-
and you've had that conversation, but it's hard for somebody to know like how do I really know that? And I just like
Yeah.
being divorced
Yeah.
and this being my first one, I'm like, I really don't want to get
No,
involved with a
with a
married
married man.
man.
And
Like,
honestly, I think
you finished that.
Yeah. But if you guys talked before, he probably should have said that.
Yeah,
before.
and I wasn't into it at
Yeah.
all. He was nice, like
Okay.
nothing crazy, like no really
way.
red flags besides the being married part.
Oh, so
Yeah.
date number one for both
Meet
of
and
us.
greet number one.
Okay. That's our stories of our first dates.
Meet and greet.
So, yes, and a meet and greet. So we wanted to do just a fun little thing, and our producer thought it would be really fun to do a segment called What's the Move?
What is the move?
What's
Get
the
in
move?
a car with a stranger.
There it is.
Is that the move?
So basically, they've given us kind of a this or that kind of thing to look at, and Katie and I are going to read it off one by one.
We haven't seen these.
So these are surprises to us too, and we're just going to say we're either going to answer or we get to plead the fifth. How many times do we get to plead the fifth?
One time.
Once. That's it. Okay, first one up. Coffee for a first date.
Yes.
Yes, I'm okay with that. However, I have heard the whole phrase of coffee's a closer. I don't even know what that means.
It's sealing the deal?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Closer?
Like when you're getting coffee, they're closing the deal, I'm guessing. I don't know.
One of my meet and greets, I think I can say this now, and I'll elaborate on another episode, was a coffee date.
Okay. And that's okay. I mean, you didn't even drink coffee. You
I don't
like
drink coffee.
So you had a hot chocolate date.
I had hot chocolate.
But
meet and greet?
Yeah. But a coffee for a first date, I think, can be fine if you don't have a lot of time and you're not sure whether you're really interested and you just meet up. But I also did hear somebody once told me that that's not really an effort made. Like they want to see a guy make an actual effort.
Well, that's what the first
Coffee's
date is.
easy.
That's what I guess it's not a first date. It's coffee for a meet and greet. I give it a...
Then we give it a yes.
Yes.
Okay, number 2. Miniature golf.
I say yes to this one too.
Fun. I've played miniature golf and it's a fun thing.
I haven't played in a long time. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Because it's an activity. You can chat.
You can chat while you're doing it. You
can see how competitive they are, or they can see how competitive
totally
I am.
I like that one. Okay. Next. Movie for first date. Nope. No. And I'm a movie buff.
I love movies. Don't get me wrong. That's more
movies.
like you're dating.
Because
let's go to the
you can't
movies.
talk during the movies.
You can't get to know.
Yeah. And you would be inclined to maybe snuggle up, and I don't want to do that if I don't.
I'm clearly not doing that.
I don't even think T-Rex could get his arms around me.
T-Rex would do that whole yawn thing. You know that like move where they yawn and they put their arm around? You can't quite make it.
It's terrible. That's terrible. Okay.
I love T-Rex guy. Wait, no.
He's a good guy.
I don't need to go on a date with T-Rex guy.
It wasn't his fault.
Don't hook me up with him or anything.
Okay.
Hike on a first date. This is interesting.
Hike on a first date.
I say no.
Ooh.
Murder.
Yeah. I've gone on a hike on a first date.
You weren't afraid that they were going to like
Hell yeah.
But you did it anyway.
You only live once. But
goodness.
no, I went and I am not afraid to say, hey, I'm going to walk on the inside of that ledge, or dude, if you throw me off of here, we're done.
You can still do it even if you're staying. Don't throw me off the ledge.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I like hiking, don't get me wrong. That's how we met.
Big. Yes. Hiking's big in California.
No, I love a good hike.
Like, how about hike and
I'm going to say, how about coffee?
How about take a hike?
take a hike, buddy. That was, okay. I like that.
Next. Oh.
Sex on the first date. Good job, Andrea. I'm so proud of you.
I am too.
Well, everybody knows my answer. Like, are we talking a meet and greet? Or are we talking a date?
Are we talking a sleep and greet?
It's meet and greet or first date.
Meet and sleep.
I mean, no judgment if that's what you want to do.
Meet and sheet.
Meet and sheet? Oh, sheet.
No, meat and sheet. That's a great.
Yeah, that's good. That's so
we
good.
went on a meet and sheet.
So you had sex on your first date.
When you had sex on the first date, you can say you went on a meet and sheet. I am loving that. I'm going to coin that phrase.
Write that down, ladies and gentlemen. Triple texting.
Okay, so the next one we have is triple texting. Wait, is that a three-way?
No, it's like you text and then you text again and you hit send and then you
like if they
just send it.
And you go 3 times.
Oh, three.
No.
Oh, okay. No threesomes. No. Okay.
She was getting excited.
I thought meet and sheet, triple text. Woo! Okay.
No. Maybe twice at most. Like double texting's probably not even.
I feel like I did do a couple.
Triple?
I know. I think I did in the beginning.
Have I?
Because I couldn't handle it. Because I had anxiety. I didn't like, and they didn't respond. And I'm like,
I feel like once, and if they don't,
sorry, why are you not responding?
No, I'm like, if you're not going to respond, I might follow it up with another text hours later or the next, maybe.
But what do you say? I'm very passive aggressive that way, which cannot be good because I'll go, so I see you weren't responding to my texts today. It's so passive aggressive instead
How
of
about
just,
now?
Yeah, I know. It's just bad. I've learned. Okay. And the last one, ghosting. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Sometimes you have to do it. Like if there's somebody you're just not interested.
I think no, but if it's like it depends. I think on when. Like if you're
At
just
what point?
If you're just chatting, I feel like
It's
on
fine.
Bumble and like it fizzles out.
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine. Okay,
But
what if
I
you've gone
think
out
there's-
3 times?
3 times? No, you've got to give
gotta
like
have some kind of closure.
Like, hey,
Yeah. Okay.
just not feeling it.
All right.
It's okay. It's okay that somebody's not
Your person or your type.
right. I think you just give them a little bit of like.
I actually think that's one of the hardest things to come to terms with, like right off the bat, is that everybody's not going to be for you.
Right.
And it's, just because one person doesn't think you're quite their type or attractive or funny or whatever, doesn't mean the next person won't think that you're everything. And that just means that wasn't
I agree.
the person for you.
And I had a
So-
friend who was gone out on a couple, like 3 dates,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got a text like saying, "Hey, I'm just not really into it."
Yeah.
And it was really well worded. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that
I've done
was
that.
really
Yeah.
nice.
I've done that often where I come back and just say, hey, I really appreciated the time tonight. I had a nice time. However, I don't feel like the chemistry
And I don't
was
think
there.
you have to do it like if you know after like when you leave that date.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, that's
like with mine. Like it was
yeah,
not
but it's
ghosting.
hard to say it when you're at the date. That's when
Well,
you're
but
like,
yeah.
okay, and they go, do you want to go out again? And you're like, yeah,
we'll see.
okay, yeah, and then you leave, and then you go, I really wasn't feeling it. Yeah, that sucks.
But that's a whole other
saving face.
episode.
Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But anyways, that's
episode 2
that's
from
our
Mrs.
show
to
for
Ms.
today. We wanted to just tell you guys all about our first date experiences. Hope you got some laughs out of it and maybe a
Yeah.
little bit of insight or information, and that you get up the nerve to go out and kind of do it yourself. Just go for it. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
That
right?
is a true
That
statement.
is a true statement. So don't forget to follow us, rate us, and review us from Mrs. to Ms. wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to Past Your Bedtime on YouTube for full video episodes. We can't wait to see you guys next week on a brand new episode. And thank
Stay
you. Thank you so much for joining us on From Mrs. to Ms.